there, I'm Susan Slattery. I'm the managing broker for West USA Realty. I'm so excited for you. You are about to enter the best career ever. I wanted to talk to you today about the forms that you're gonna need right from the get-go. And the most important one, in my opinion, that you need to do first is the agency disclosure. You're gonna hear it called READ. When you hear READ, it's R-E-A-D-E, Real Estate Agency Disclosure and Election. A lot of the public and a lot of agents think that this is an employment agreement, and it's not. It's strictly a communication piece for you to explain to your client the terms of agency, who you represent, how you represent them. You give them your loyalty, your obedience, your fiduciary duties, and this is a communication piece that they sign just to acknowledge that you two have talked about it and that they've accepted the type of agency that you're going to move forward with. After that, you're probably going to represent one of four types of people. You're going to represent a buyer or a tenant, or a seller, or a landlord. That form works for all four of those, by the way. When it comes to a seller, the very next thing you're going to do is you're going to do an employment agreement, an actual I work for you agreement, a contract agreement. And that could be an ER, an EA. It depends on the forms that are provided to you by your MLS. That's where you get your employment agreements and the permission to list the property, put a lockbox on, do a sign, get paid from the seller. On the other hand, or a landlord. On the other hand, if you're going to represent a tenant, you would initiate the lease. That's how you represent a tenant. You initiate a lease. With a buyer, it could be one of two things. There is a buyer-broker agreement available to you, and that is the counterpart to the listing agreement. It is a buyer hiring you. It's a contract saying that you are going to work for that buyer. Another thing with a buyer that establishes employment is if you write an offer that turns into a contract for a buyer. So you sit down with them and they actually write an offer on a property, it gets executed, accepted, and you move forward. At that point, you have an employment with that buyer. Those are the three most important things. There's so many pages to so many of them. This is a really quick overview, but there's so many wonderful ways to learn about the ins and outs of them classes. AAR is a wonderful source, and I wish you the best of luck.